I'm Jesse Elaine, and today we're going to discuss the superimposition of minor and major pentatonic scales over a static minor chord. So the chord I'm choosing to show you today with the examples here is an E minor 11th chord, or sometimes also known as E minor 7 sus chord. So on the 7th fret of the 5th string, you're going to bar those 5 strings, and you're going to say E, A, D, G. That's your shape. You can play that low E if you like to. And that's our chord. I'm choosing this chord as a substitution from the standard E minor 7th chord. That one has just a little too much of a traditional sound for what I'm trying to show you today, so I'm going for a stack of fourths, and that's the way it is. So let's dive right in. There are 8 different viable options that you can use, all either major or minor pentatonic scales, to play over the E minor 11th chord or minor 7 sus chord. Now, when I say viable options, I mean options that aren't overtly outside of a sound that will work to your ears, or most people's ears. You can obviously experiment with chromatic things, but that's not really what we're doing here. I'm really trying to target specific minor chord tones or minor scale type sounds, modal sounds as well. You'll hear some Dorian in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you all the scales while I'm playing a low E note, and you should also practice this. So you're going to want to have a pencil and a paper for this. There's a lot of theory going on, so feel free to rewind or pause at any time, but I'm just going to go through it. So here's our E minor, and then our scale starting on the 7th fret, 5th string, E, G, A, B, D. That's your E minor pentatonic scale. That's the root. Starting from the root of this chord is played the same scale. E, G, A, B, D. You can play that different octaves. That's that. So that's E minor pentatonic. Now what I want you to do is continue playing this low E pedal tone, but now shift the minor pentatonic shape up a whole step. So now we're playing a minor pentatonic scale from the 2nd degree of the E minor scale, which would be F sharp. F sharp, A, B, C sharp, E. So this creates a totally different sound because we got a 9th now, or we got an 11th, and we also have a natural 6th. So a little more tension there, right? That C sharp gives you a Dorian sound, which is of course very characteristic of the modal jazz movement, partly why we're using this. So far you've got E minor pentatonic you can use. You can use F sharp minor pentatonic. That's the minor from the 2nd scale degree over E. And now we're going to do G major pentatonic. Now you theory people may already realize that anytime you have a minor and it works, you're going to have the relative major that works, and that's what this is. But you're going to start it from a different note anyway. So G, A, B, D, E. That's the G major pentatonic. I started it on the 10th fret of the 5th string. Now we're going to play an interesting thing here. We're going to play the minor pentatonic from A, then we're going to play the major pentatonic from A, and they both work. Now the minor pentatonic from A has a uniquely Aeolian sound because we're having this C natural in there, whereas before we had a C sharp, which gives us that Dorian sound. Now we get a C natural. So of course your A minor pentatonic, everybody should know this. A, C, D, E, G, A. That's going to give you a little tension having that C in there. But it works, you know, it's not too hurtful. Now we're going to play the A major pentatonic scale from the A as the 4th scale degree. So it's going to be A, B, C sharp, E, F. There's your Dorian sound again, of course, with that C sharp. I'm mixing two scales there. I was mixing the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic. Next we're going to play B minor pentatonic, so the minor pentatonic from the 5th of the scale. This is a well-known safe choice. In other words, play the minor pentatonic scale that starts a 5th above the root of your actual chord. So if your chord's E, go up a 5th, you play that minor pentatonic scale. You get a little color there because you get that 9th. That F sharp is in that scale. And then, as we said before, when we had a major pentatonic or a minor pentatonic, there's always a relative. So we did A minor pentatonic earlier, and now we're going to have C major pentatonic. Different edge to it. And then finally we got our D major pentatonic, which is of course a relative major to the B minor we did earlier. Same exact notes. So we're going to have B, then we get D, E, F sharp, A. Okay, so just to recap, over the E minor pentatonic, you can play a minor pentatonic from the root. You can play a minor pentatonic from the 2nd scale degree. You can play a major pentatonic from the flat 3rd scale degree, which is the G. You can play a minor pentatonic from the 4th scale degree. You can play a major pentatonic from the 4th scale degree. You can play a minor pentatonic from the 5th scale degree. You can play a major pentatonic from the flat 6th scale degree, which is C. And then you can play a major pentatonic from the flat 7th scale degree. So for one 5-note scale, you have 8 choices. Just by varying that ability to tap into that 6th as a natural 6th or the 6th as a flat 6th, in other words, Aeolian sound. So I've got a little sequence here. E minor 7 sus is going underneath with just a bass line and drums like I usually like to do. If you watch my other videos, you'd know that. On this I don't like to use the chord accompaniment because I want to add that myself. So I'm going to play this for you, and I'm just going to try to go through the scales in the order that they appear. Nothing fancy is going to happen. It's just going to be playing through the scales and trying to be as creative as possible. Here goes. E. F sharp, G, A minor, A major, B minor, C major, D major, okay, just a quick example. I highly recommend that you play over an E minor sequence like that. That was just a short one. Do it as long as you want. Do, 32 bars of each scale and practice with that. Do that 25 times. Get used to those different scales and how they sound and how they interact with the chord underneath. That's really the most important part. This is what a lot of modern players have been doing since probably the 60s or 70s, I would say. It's when people really started to explore pentatonic scales in depth after people like McCoy Tyner and John Coltrane started to use these 5-note cell concepts over their improvisation. Not that they were the first to do it, but those were some of the two that really came to the forefront. So do that in every key as well. I just used E because it was easy to pedal that E below, but E is just one of the 12 keys that you're gonna want to deal with. So let me know if you have any questions with this concept, and we'll see you next time.